So this discussion will going to be on the government. So why is the government bad?
Well, I want to first of all welcome you to Nigeria Freedom Radio. I'm
Okay.
glad. Thank you for joining me, Jitesh. So
Yeah.
the question is government
Mhm.
bad? And if I want to know what you think, and
What?
you can
Okay.
then defend
Mhm.
what your opinion is. So is the government bad?
Mhm. So I'm from India, so I can only talk about government in India, and I must say, by just saying the word that government is bad, saying this statement is not it will not be justifiable, because government essentially will not do anything bad for the country, right? Because any government, whether it is a liberal, whether it is a nationalist, they essentially want to do something good for their country. So whatever they do, the basic idea remains that how to grow and sustain development for their country. But there has been a lot of incidences or situations where government take uh, wrong decisions which can adversely affect the citizens of those of that country. For example, the thing which has happened in India in last year, government took a decision of demonetization, which means they deregulated the currency, the notes of 500 rupees and 1000 rupees from the economy, and that has affected the citizens very adversely. Lot of people got in problem, and they faced a lot of trouble and difficulties in exchanging their notes and running their day-to-day life. So there are different there are a lot of bad decisions that has been taken by government, but those decisions, the the primary thought behind those decisions was to make the economy more formalized, bring all the informal businesses and all the informal people who are not in the mainstream economy, to bring them into economy and make the economy much more prosperous. So there are the disadvantages and advantages both for all the decisions. And uh, and if tell you the overall conclusion about the government here in India, is that they have done a lot to grow the economy. They have made a lot of reforms. They have made a lot of laws and codes and amendments in constitution to just um, develop and grow the country for the future. And
Okay,
at the
Jitesh.
same
So
time, yeah,
Jitesh, I guess
yeah,
let me redirect where I think perhaps I
yes,
didn't frame the question really well.
uh-huh.
So what I am trying to get people to start thinking is government in general good? So the institution of government,
Okay,
is that
see,
necessary? Is it something good,
yeah, yeah,
or is
see,
inherently a bad system? Just like if I
hmm,
say,
hmm,
is a gang of criminal ruling
hmm,
you good or bad?
hmm,
You could say, yeah, no, gang of criminal are bad,
hmm.
no matter how good they are doing. So that's
Okay,
where is the morality. Is
okay,
government ultimately a good thing or it's a bad thing morally?
okay. See, it you know it in it again starts a new debate, if we talk about in this sense, morally, whether the government is bad or not. Because if we don't want to have any government in our country, then we will uh, look for the different ideology, which is the Marxism, which is the communism. There they have thought that there should not be any state in the country, and every natural resources would be moderated by the people, and all the benefits to be given directly to the people, directly to the citizens. But in that case, to achieving that kind of society, initially what was planned that you need a small party who could regulate and make all the things possible for the people to to practice that kind of situation and trade in their country. But uh, but directly saying that if we don't want any government and we want to function our economy by our own, so it will become, it is like utopia. You are talking utopia which cannot be possible, but still you want to talk about that. So it's just a debate, not, it is practically not possible.
Okay.
That's,
So,
yeah.
do you believe democracy is good or bad?
I believe democracy is the good thing.
Why?
Why? Because it gives the uh, gives the chance for even the marginalized and the poorest of poor people to come uh, from that community and rule their country in the way they want, not to a a certain section or to certain people who just act like aristocrats and just they keep doing that. No, democracy brings the education into the people. Every single citizen of the country want to learn about the things that government is doing, because they believe that the government which has been formed and right now in the center, they have elected them, they have given the rights to do whatever they want for the citizens. So they find in democracy essentially those are the citizens who have all the powers, not the government, because citizens who create the government, not the government who creates the citizens. So that's how democracy, I think, is the best thing for ruling any country.
Okay. So let me ask you,
Yeah.
if um if 9 people voted to, say for example, increase a tax. Let's say there are 10 people in a country. 9 people voted to have a tax increase, and
Mm-hmm.
the other person voted no for the tax increase. Are you
Mm-hmm.
saying that is good?
I'm sorry, 9 people voted and other.
Yes. So 9 people. So let's say there are 10 people in a country.
Okay, okay.
9 people voted to have a particular law or
Mm-hmm.
an increase in taxes, and the
Mm-hmm.
other person voted no.
Yeah.
Are you saying that that system is good? That the other person that voted no, their
See,
voice,
now
they
let me
shouldn't have
let
what they want?
okay, okay, let me tell you. Now, in this thing, there are two sides, obviously. One who voted for yes, and one who voted for not. Who voted for yes, they also want something good for themselves, right? So once the act or the taxes you are talking about is applied on those, right? So if they get gains, if they gain something from that law or from that provision, so so obviously that decision would be good, right? And after the after the uh, implementation of that law or taxes, if doesn't it did well, if it doesn't do good for themselves, for them who voted for them, then obviously they will gonna again bring down that government and vote for someone else who do something good for them. So that's what the main power of the democracy is. You can anytime collapse the government who is doing wrong for you, and bring someone else for that. So that's what it is.
Okay. So let me get this straight.
Yeah.
So okay, let me bring it even more personally. Let's say there are 3 of us, you and I and someone else,
Uh-huh.
and we need to choose between Coca-Cola or Fanta,
Mm-hmm.
and the 2 of us
Yeah.
chose Coca-Cola, and you are the
Okay.
only one that chose Fanta. So that means you lost. We are going to all drink Coca-Cola.
Okay. So I got
Are
you.
you
I got.
saying that? Are you saying that that system is good? We
I got your point.
denying you to
I got
drink
your point.
Fanta. Are you saying that system is good?
I got your point because what you are talking about is the numbers game. Yes, democracy essentially is the numbers game, but but we can improve this. There is no there is the thing. There is one thing that we can improve this, or we can introduce a system which can much more be which will be much more analytical before choosing any person for ruling a region or a state, right? And there is second thing which I already told you, that let's suppose those people who voted for drinking the Coca-Cola, right? When they drink that Coca-Cola, if they don't find the taste well, if they don't find the consequences after drinking the Coca-Cola well enough for them, if they find something side effects, so why they would again wanna drink the Coca-Cola? The same thing. The thing is this: they will gonna change their drink. They will maybe perhaps possible they will go for the Fanta. So that is why the argument is.
I see. So, okay. So, are you saying that if for one day I
Yeah.
denied you what you want is a good thing?
No, but
Okay.
there is no other choice. There is no other
Okay.
choice.
There is.
Yeah.
There is a
Yeah.
choice, Jitesh, and let me tell you.
Okay.
That choice is called freedom.
Okay.
Freedom is a system where if the three of us are living together,
Okay.
everybody drinks and eats what they want. That
Okay.
means there will be no anyone ruling anyone. You understand?
I got your point. That you are talking about communism. You're talking about
No, no.
Marxism.
Right. So communism requires government, just like you said. It
No, no,
requires.
no.
Hold on. Let me because it's important.
Okay.
Communism requires government because, like you said, it requires the country first to go through one party system, for the one party system to enact these laws to destroy property rights, and then eventually the government will disappear. But this is not freedom. Freedom completely avoids government in the first place. You do not need anyone to come and destroy property rights and communalize property rights. So that is very different. So there is a system. That is why the more the country has freedom, the more anyone can keep his own money, can make his own law,
Okay.
the
My
more
friend,
richer and peaceful. And
my
forget
friend, I, I got your point. I got your point.
okay.
And let me tell you, what you were saying is essentially what the Karl Marx said. The communism is not what it is looks like today. What you see in China, what you see in Cuba, that is not the communism. That is the amendments that had happened in communism. There is no such real communism has left in world. The communism which was the idea of Marx, the Karl Marx, the same exactly what you're talking about. They said there should not be any state in the country, and everything should be controlled by the citizens themselves. There will be all the freedom. All the citizens have their own things to do. There should not be any caste, creed, or discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, religion, anything. That's what they
Jitesh,
told.
Jitesh,
Yeah.
although Marx said before communism starts,
Yeah.
the autocrats will
Yeah.
come and seize power.
Yes.
So that means if you want to do something, but before you achieve your aim, you have to use government. That means you still require government. And freedom is not like that. Freedom, you do not require government. So that is really two different, two really important difference. Communism, you require government. Freedom, you do not require government to achieve it.
Okay. So how do you define that freedom? How will you say that the resources in your appropriately and exactly sustainably for all the people in the country? Who will gonna do that?
Honestly, I don't know. But
Yes.
what I am concerned, we don't have time. I wish I will find you
Yes.
again. I will invite you so that we can talk, okay? I will find
Yeah.
you and then invite you so we can continue. Because that is a really important question. The most important, okay, let me just, I will invite